There's a lot happening when it comes to private markets, even though it's, as we said, a little bit more opaque naturally than public markets. So I'd like to start the conversation just getting your thoughts on the state of play. How would you describe the situation in private markets in Europe at this stage?
In terms of the private markets, there's really multiple aspects that are driving it. In certain sectors, it's been buoyant. So we haven't seen any drop in activity, maybe even an increase in activity. And over the last year, we're seeing a resurgence of those areas where the activity fell off. So we're seeing private capital and certainly private credit enter the European market in a stronger way. I wouldn't say it's an onslaught or a deluge, but I think there's an acceleration of the private capital, whether it's private credit or private equity, into Europe.
Do you think that is likely to continue in 2026? Because one of the reasons behind that sentiment this year has been the concerns around stateside.
I think what's happening is you both have the combination of the public markets apart from a very narrow set of companies that are very, very well valued and have been increasing and driving the markets. It's been really a soft valuation in the public markets. So there's been very few IPOs. The IPO markets have, particularly here in the UK and in Europe, have been softer. And private equity companies have struggled finding their valuation in the public market, so they stayed in private capital. You have a number of companies that I talk to that are public companies that are debating whether they stay public. What are the benefits of being public today? So I think there's certainly a reason to be for the private markets, and you're seeing more in that in Europe. In the US, there's a stronger public market valuation, so you have some companies that are accessing that market, and private equity has been much more developed, so the penetration has been stronger. So I see that's what's helping Europe in terms of the private capital, private segment.
I would like to get your thoughts also on the ongoing conversations when it comes to public investments of AI. To what extent this is also being at least considered in terms of private capital, given how much money is going into AI investments, but perhaps whether we are actually in a bubble here.
It's interesting you say that. We're just talking about that outside. Cycles like AI and innovations like AI often go through periods of ebullience and stabilization. And I think we're in that very enthusiastic phase and really, really overheated phase. And you're seeing that play out in the public markets. What's really happening on the ground is the AI revolution is real. If I look at our clients and the work we're doing, we are deploying AI technology and tactics in almost everything we do. It's been an incredible acceleration over the last couple of years. Our AI advisory component has doubled. Every single situation that we've got in the corporate space is now deploying AI or even digital, not even advanced AI yet, digital in a much more important way. And I think we internally as a group are looking to train our people that didn't have as much comfort they have to in our business. And I think that's what's going on.
If I may interrupt, that's more in terms of how we are applying the technology. What I was trying to understand is the level of investments here in AI. Is the PE community also concerned about where we are in terms of the high levels of debt, ultimately, that AI companies are putting forward at this stage?
Yeah, I think AI companies that are really well valued are public companies, like NVIDIA, Google. These are the mega caps. Private equity are not investing in those companies. Are they investing in certain smaller companies that have? I see private equity investing a lot more in infrastructure of technology and AI. That's where you look at Blackstone and BlackRock and big private equity. They're migrating to that. They're buying the picks and shovels of the AI industry, and I think that's been a smart bet. That'll actually overheat because they're all going into it. But what is going on that I don't underneath all that is the AI revolution is real. It's here to stay, and it's accelerating. Whether that is going to match the exuberance that's in the market and that gap, that's the question. But it's going to continue, even though this is probably overheated.